gratitude, friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So today I am going to try to stay a little bit off the grid and bake some bread in my sun oven. That is a tongue twister. So let me show you how simple this recipe is. Now, in full disclosure, I've never made it before, so it may be an epic fail. So in my big bowl here, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, and I just stirred that up a little bit, and it only calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. Makes me nervous, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that over. Into that mixture, we are going to add 1.5 cups of warmish water. You don't want your water hot, but you do want it warm so that it will help that yeast activate and your bread begin to rise. How simple is this? So if you don't have an electric mixer, or you don't have electricity and you want to make bread, this is going to be a great recipe to utilize if it comes out. And I'm sure you can bake this in the oven if you don't have a sun oven. So wow, that is a very soft dough, but super simple to stir up. How about that? It's quite shaggy. I'm going to show you here in just a second. And yes, my hands are clean. You know, some of the comments I get are, So that's why I sometimes make those statements. All right. So here's what it looks like. How quick and easy was that? All right. You want to cover it tightly and put it in a warm place to rise for about 2 hours. So I'm going to use one of my beeswax wraps, and this will adhere to the bowl simply by the warmth of your hand. Now, I have a video on making these, but this is one that I had purchased a bunch of years ago, and quite truthfully, I've never used it. So when I was doing a little drawer straightening, I found it, and I thought, what a perfect time to use it. So we are blessed with some very cool weather today. It was in the upper 50s when I got up, and it was so nice to go out and get some work done. I had to muck out the coop and the laying boxes, etc., because this is Friday and Miss Violet's eggs are due to hatch somewhere around Monday. May not be exactly Monday. All right, I'm going to, because it's cool and I have my house opened up, I'm going to actually put this into my oven with the light on, and we will come back in about 2 hours and check it. So let me do that, and then I will share a couple other things with you. So you may notice here on my counter, I have all the jalapenos. So this is about, well, it's my second big harvest. This isn't as many as I even harvested the first time, which is really nice. I freeze dried the first batch, but I'm thinking about making some cowboy candy because I'm down to like, I think 2 jelly jars full, and that's somewhat of an emergency in this house. And with the holidays coming up, it's really good to have those type of things you can use as an appetizer. I shared, or I will be sharing next week, over here I have my zucchini chips that I made on my Every Bit Count challenge day. And yesterday, for the first time, I freeze-dried herbs, and let me tell you all, I'm so impressed. So I got those vacuum sealed, put away. My vinegars are doing well. So yeah, we've been doing all the things this morning. So let me clean this up, and we'll see what else we're going to get into while we wait on our bread to rise. Stay tuned. Well, our 2 hours have elapsed. I haven't peeked, so let's see. I'm a little concerned about the low amount of yeast. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, guys. It's got a lot of air in it. Yeah, so It has definitely risen. Who knew? All right. I should have gotten this out first, but let's go ahead and put a generous amount of flour. We're going to pop out our dough. It is quite sticky, so let's kind of use the bench scraper here to work it in. Oh, it's nice and velvety soft. I will give it that. I'm kind of impressed with how this dough feels. Yeah, not bad. So I'm going for sort of an artesian loaf look. So let's try to get this shaped. Get some of this dough off my hands. Get it shaped into some semblance of a loaf. And it doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. We're going for kind of a rustic look. Still a little sticky. Okay. So I think that's acceptable. Let me wash my hands. We're going to line our baking dish with parchment paper. We're going to let it rise 20 more minutes, and we'll go out and get the sun oven adjusted. So stay tuned. So I am using the same roaster that we used for the roasted potatoes that we did for the first test of the sun oven. So, and the other thing I wanted to share with you, I did purchase this from Azure. It's the unbleached, totally chlorine-free parchment paper. Y'all, whoever would have thought that they put chlorine bleach in your parchment paper? So let's put our little loaf in here. And you know, maybe we can use the dough scraper for that. Oh yeah, hey, that works pretty good. All right. I want to put something on top. What shall we put on top today, y'all? Oh, come on now. It couldn't be this hard. I was hoping that I had some white sesame seeds. I'll tell you what, let me go look in the pantry. That's probably where they are. And we'll get this decorated up and rising again for 20 minutes. Stay tuned. As I shared before, Azure was out of the white sesame seeds. I knew I had purchased some. So I got these Eat Well Premium Foods, 100% natural ingredients, sesame seeds. So let's kind of decorate the top here. We'll lid it up. I'm gonna clean up my mess, get this into the oven with the light on again, and then we'll go outside and adjust our sun oven. The best laid plans. I hope I can speak up over this. I forget to try to speak up, y'all, and you need to remind me in the comments below when it's too soft. I have noticed I have a pretty bad tendency to talk to the ground, to talk behind myself. So I apologize about that. I thought while we wait, because I don't want to be out there and it doesn't take them that long to mow. There's actually two guys, and they're on those giant kind of mowers that you stand on, you know, like this. This would just take some like 15, 20 minutes, they'll be out of here. So this half-gallon jar, when I could not get half-gallon mason jars, I bought 6 of these from Azure Standard, and I really like them. So I thought I would go ahead and put these away. But I have a question for you all. And I really value your opinions A lot of you have said that you've really enjoyed the shorter videos. I have been focusing on that, but I am doing a bit of a combination. I'm trying not to do like hour-long videos, you know, because I get too in-depth on instructions. Pardon me. And for those of you who are new, I have chronic hiccups, but I'll hiccup once or twice and it's over with, so you just ignore that. So I've been thinking about doing something, and I would love your all's opinion about it. Let me bring you closer so I can speak up, because I do have the windows open. You know, we so rarely in August have a nice cool day like today. It's 71 degrees. It is absolutely gorgeous out, low humidity. I have the house all opened up. My AC just went, shoo, you know, and my electric bill probably went, shoo. I have no desire personally, and this is not a criticism of anyone. One channel that I love to watch is Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, because they're so creative and I get good ideas from them. I don't have a desire to be off grid at my age. But that said, oh look what's on the TV. Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. I paused it so I could do the bread. She's doing a very interesting video about what you would buy if you weren't going to have any power for a few days, and she's very, very smart. So, you know, I'm kind of checking my own list. So I've shared I do have a whole house generator that runs on gas, but let's just say, guys, the gas line is down. Remember when we were in elementary school and junior high and high school, how we would have drills? Now in Ohio, we had fire drills and tornado drills. And when I was very young, you know, just a baby, we would also have, I'll say nuclear attack drills. That might not be what they called it, but we had all sorts of drills. And I thought, you know, maybe I should do a drill for a day. Not for a week or anything, y'all. And I have my freezer and my refrigerator quite full of food, so I would want to exclude that from my off-grid, because I don't want to lose any of my hard work. That's for sure, with the price of food right now. But I could share some ideas and may use some ideas so that I'm not opening and closing either item. I was thinking about trying to do kind of a day in the life and let you know what I learned from trying to be off grid for one day. So drop me a comment. Is that something of interest, or are you like, yeah, no, I'm all set with that. I may do it whether I film it or not, just because I think it is a good way to identify holes in what you have. One of the things that I was just learning this morning was about having a headlamp. Well, I have one in my go bag, but I don't have like a rechargeable one, which might come in really handy given the chicken situation, and that I'm not in the city. We don't have city lighting here, so I am giving that a thought. So hopefully they won't, you know, take forever today. And I'm gonna let that bread rise. We'll get back together when I go out to adjust the sun oven, and then we'll get our bread into the sun oven and see. I will tell you one thing, I would add more yeast than what this recipe calls for. I would double it easily. So just my thought. The other thing I think I would do is I think I would put my yeast in the warm water, maybe with a pinch of sugar, let it bloom a little bit, and kind of get active and wake up before adding it to the flour and salt. Just my 2 cents of what I've learned so far. But I think it'll still be a good loaf of bread. One more thought. This is called Bees Wrap. I don't know who makes it. Oh, beeswrap.com. You don't want to use a lot of like hot soapy water. You just simply want to wipe it off. If you've not had like raw meat or anything on it, which I would not do, let it dry, and then I'm going to place it back in the package. So that's how you care for these. Nothing like a beautifully freshly mowed lawn, right? But let me show you, I didn't do a very good job in my last video. If you look down here, you see the circle of light? Let me turn it and show you how it is right over the center of that black dot. So that is how you align it. I have a lot of trouble with this side one. I don't know. Filming it. There you go. That's not a bad picture. So, yeah, a little bit of grass here on things. We are up to 250. I hope y'all can see that. So, I did have the oven placed a little bit earlier. And I want to show you something. You'll see that dead spot in my grass. I had the sun oven reflector too close to the grass, and it literally killed the grass. So be mindful of that. I know a lot of people cook right on their lawn, so I'm not sure how exactly that happened, but it happened. I don't know about you all, but it has been such a hot and uncomfortable summer here in Ohio. Very high humidity that I kind of don't want to be in the house today. So I was out at 7 this morning. Just doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, just really enjoying being out in the cool weather. Got the girls' coop mucked out, and you know, the nesting boxes cleaned and all of the things. So they have their lavender and their mint now, so they should be relaxed when laying. So I hope it does help Miss Violet. She has been out today, dust bathing, eating and drinking, but she comes out, does her business, and goes right back in. So fingers crossed, guys. All right, I'm going to let this heat a little bit more. Again, it's not super windy, but it's a little breezy and it's a little bit cool. So let's see how the sun oven functions on a cooler day, where, if y'all can, let me stand up and turn around. Can y'all see there are some, oh yeah, there's a good picture. There are some clouds. So we'll see how it works out. I'm going to let that rise well, and then I'll bring you back once I get it into the sun oven. Stay tuned. So we're good and lined up. As you see, the light is over the dark circle. Temperature wise, we are at about 315. Oh, pardon my hand. Whew. Guys, those brackets do get hot. So let me give you a quick peek of the bread. It is risen beautifully. Let's go ahead and sit it in. Be careful, because let me tell you all, it's hot in there like an oven. See if I can do this one-handed. So you do want to ouch latch it. I'll do that once I click off here. And we are going to let this bake until it's done. I'm going to say possibly about an hour. And every time you open the door, of course, you're going to be losing heat. So we will let it go for quite some time before I check it. Stay tuned. So the sun is out right now, behind the clouds, I should say. And I just opened, and we're hovering at around 250. Here comes the sun. Oh, guys, this bread is wonderful. One thing I failed to share with you is you should spray the top of your bread with a little bit of water. And I honestly forgot until just now. So I just sprayed it. I'm going to leave it about 15 more minutes. And then we will pull it and see what our bread looks like. I hope you're enjoying this. Stay tuned. I think this is so cute. I just had to share it with you. The first time I saw the girls doing this, I thought, oh no, they're having seizures. But they're actually getting a dust bath, and this is their favorite place. So they will scratch up and kick up the dirt and clean their feathers. They also use the pool, but they definitely like it back here. So, of course, Fancy Ray and Jolene, they're best buds, and they always stick together. And I will be glad when Violet is done, so that Miss Miracle will have her bud back. Let's take a peek at at Violet while we wait.
Miss Violet, you want to tell the peoples about your babies? Huh? You want to tell the peoples?
See how she puffs up? She does not want me coming near those babies. So, oops, somebody left me a nice little treat, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Yes, girls. Yes, girls. They're not spoiled or anything. They're just nosy. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. Let's see what our bread looks like, y'all. Is that a gorgeous loaf of bread? Let me give you a better view. Just don't forget that this is hot as if it came out of the oven. This out of the way here. This is a gorgeous, very nicely done loaf of bread, done all the way through. So, a success. I don't want to cut it while it's so hot. One of the reasons you don't want to cut your bread when it's really, really hot is it lets moisture out of the bread and it actually affects the remainder of the loaf. So I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit, then we'll give it a taste test and close this video for today. Stay tuned. Well, y'all, I'm pretty impressed with the crumb. And I've cut myself a piece, put a little butter on it. Let's give it a taste test. Very good. Nice and soft. Good chew. I like a lot of flavor in my bread. I think the next one I make, I might put some herbs in it. But I'm impressed, y'all. Very simple, 4 ingredients, including the water. Bread, no electricity required to mix it or to bake it. So drop me a comment below. Would this be something you might give a try to? And also, very quickly, a couple of you have mentioned the channel Rose Red Homestead. I'm also a huge fan, and she made her own solar oven, and I'm sure there are other channels that have done the same. So if you're not interested in purchasing one, you might give hers a little look-see. I did not watch how she made her own, only her cooking on it. So at any rate, thank you today for your time. I know the video was a little bit longer today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave me a comment about my little off-grid experiment, or my drill, I should say. And I will see you all very soon. Don't forget to smash that like button, share and subscribe. And as always, be healthy, be well, be blessed, take care.